Alright, in this video I'm going to go over investigation 1.2.1, and like always on the first slide, if you wouldn't mind sharing in how are you guys doing, you guys can type it here. Okay, the focus of this lesson is how does a function machine work? So at the function factory, a number is placed into the machine. The machine transforms the input into another number depending on how it's programmed. So in this case here, the input, what's going to go inside the machine is going to be 4, and when I click start, knows that 4 is going to go inside the machine, it's going to transform it, and the number comes back out. In this case here, 8 was the number that came out. Right, moving to the next slide. So let's try placing different numbers and see what kind of output we get. So we tried 4 last time. Let's see if 5, do you see when I type 5 here, 5 goes in the box. And when I put the box inside the machine, it transforms it, and I get the answer 10 back out. So in my table, I can put input 5, and it gave me back 10. Okay, let's reset it, and then let's try a different number. Let's try 2 this time. Oh, 2 this time. So let's put 2 inside the machine. The machine's going to transform it, and the number that comes back out is 4. So I can add another point, 2, 4. Right. I think I kind of see a pattern. Let's try one more. So I'm going to reset it. Let's see, let's put 3 inside our machine. So the machine is going to transform 3, it becomes 6. So another point on my table is 3, 6. Okay, and you can try any numbers you want and type it into the table. But how does it change the input? Looks like whatever I put inside, the machine's doubling it. So 4 becomes 8, double 5, 5 becomes 10, double 2, 2 becomes 4. So the machine takes the input and doubles it. Okay. So now that we know that, what if I put x into the machine? What if I put any number inside? So whatever goes inside is going to be doubled. So the output would be 2x, 2 times x, right? Whatever x is, it was going to be doubled. Okay. So you can think of 2x as the rule for this machine. That's how the machine is programmed, and it tells it what each of these inputs are going to do. Okay. So here we have a new program. It's going to do something different, so it's not going to double it. It's going to have a new programming, and we want to try to figure out what that is going to be. So here we have 3, so let's put 3 inside the machine. So again, 3 becomes 8, so it's probably not doubling that number. So we need to think about what can we do to 3 that would change it into 8. So write one possible rule using x that could change 3 into 8. So if x is what's going inside the machine, let's see, how can I change 3 to 8? So one thing we can think about is maybe x plus 5. X plus 5. So if x is 3, if I plug in 3 and add 5 to it, that's how I get 8 back out. So then maybe that's the reason why. So let's go and check. If my program is correct, if I plug in 5 and my rule is plus 5, 5 plus 5, I should get 10 back out. So let's go ahead and see. If I plug in 5 into my machine, I get, I get 14 back out. So it looks like my rule doesn't matches up with the machine. No, my function doesn't match. And the reason why it doesn't match is there are lots of ways of changing 3 into 8. So I could plus 5, but I'm sure there are other ways of changing 3 to 8. And so let's see what are some other ways. So sometimes testing one input isn't enough to know how a function works. We need to try a couple different numbers to understand the pattern. So let's see, 3 becomes 8, 5 becomes 15, or sorry, 14. Let's see, let's try 10. So let's put 10 in the machine. Right, transforms it. 29 comes out. All right, let's try another one. Let's reset my machine. Let's try 4. So 4 goes to the machine. I get, oops, sorry, this should be 10. Right, I get 11 back out for 11. Let's see. Let's try one more. Let's try 6. Oops. So 6 goes to the machine. transforms it, I get 17 back out. So can you think of what this pattern could be? Right. So it looks like I'm tripling the first number. The input is first tripled. After I tripled, then I take away 1. I subtract 1. Then subtract 1. So can you see that pattern? 3 times 3 would be 9, and then take away 1, I'm down to 8. 5 times 3 would be 15, then minus 1 would be down to 14. 10 times 3 would be 30, and then minus 1 would be 29. So the pattern looks like it's being tripled and then subtract 1. So on the next slide, let's go ahead and type in the rule. So if I put x in, any number inside, whatever goes inside is going to be tripled, and then I'm going to take away 1, 3x minus 1. Okay, so some notation we can go over. F of x, when we talk about a function, we use notation f of x, and so it stands for f of x. And what's nice about this notation is it lets us know when we put 3 inside the machine, f of 3, the output, is going to be whatever the answer is after 3 is placed in. So this is just some of the notation we use for this function. So, alright, so now let's go and use some functions to go ahead and solve the rest of these problems. So here are the function f of x equals 3x minus 1. I want to see what answer I get back out when I plug in x equals 14. So I'm going to first copy and paste this equation, Control C, Control V. And what's going inside my machine is going to be x equals 14. So instead of this x here, inside my machine, I'm going to type in 14. So now I can just solve this step by step. 3 times 14, that's going to be 42. Don't forget that there's a minus 1 right here, so minus 1. And then 42 take away 1, that's going to be 41. All right, let's go and try the next one. So here, we still have the same function, so I'm going to copy and paste that over. But this time, what's going inside the machine is going to be negative 10. So instead of having x here, I'm going to have negative 10 here. So now I can just solve this. 3 times negative 10, positive times a negative, that's going to be negative 30. Then minus 1, right? 30 red tiles, 1 more red tile. 30 minus 1, that's going to be negative 31. And finally, for this last one, instead of telling me what number goes inside, it says that the answer is going to end up being 44. So what number can I plug inside, what x can go inside, so that my answer ends up 44? For example, let's try some numbers. If 20 goes inside our machine, 3 times 20 is 60, and then 60 minus 1 is 59. And that's a little bit too big, right? I want my answer to be 44. So what goes inside is probably smaller than 20. Maybe let's try 15. 3 times 15 is 45. And then 45 minus 1 is 44. So what goes inside the machine to make it the answer 44 is going to be x equals 15. Right? So how does a function machine work? A function machine takes an input, transforms it, and provides an output. So for the remaining of these slides are going to be some practice problems. You guys can go ahead and try that on your own. And if you have any questions, just let me know.